program, an affiliate program going on where you can make 50% of the commission of every person that you bring in as long as they stay on the reimbursement of every single month. So if you guys are down for that, you'll see the link pop up on your screen right there on the chat. Or if you're watching the recorded episode, you'll see the link on your screen. Or just hit me up on one of my socials, slide in my DM, and we'll get you on and popping, baby.
Absolutely, man. Anyway, it's always nice to get a little extra cold hard cash in your pocket for you, man. I also want to give a shout out to our newest partner and on this little shindig we call a show over here, man, and that is Varsity Sports Nation. Varsity Sports Nation is your premier source for sports and entertainment. You want high school football, they got you. You want college football, you want college sports, they got you. Here's the best part about the Varsity Sports Nation is they have a convenient app that you can download on your iOS, your Android, your Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV, and of course, all your socials. So check them out. And while you're checking them out, if you could give us a like and subscribe and them as well, it'd be really helpful for us. Just click on that bell on YouTube, and that'll let you know anytime that we are going live. And we are trying our hardest. We are trying our hardest to get to 100, man. We are at 98 subscribers, so please, hopefully by the end of this show, let's make it happen. We want to get to that 100, please. So check us out on the page there. Check out Varsity Sports Nation. It's a great company as well. You can also check out all our episodes on demand as well if you can't make it here or on YouTube and you want to just check it out on there. We really appreciate it as well. It's a great company, great people to work with. All right, fellas, let's get into some news. You fellas ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we had a big moment over here in the last couple of days that Mr. Kevin Durant reached 30,000 points, becoming the 8th player to be able to do this. He joins the likes of LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Karl Malone, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Dirk Nowitzki, and Wilt Chamberlain. Anytime you're in the company of those absolute legends, you're doing something right without a doubt. All right, G-Mike, let's start off with you, man. What's your thoughts on KD's career? What do you think about this one, man? 30,000 points is only X amount of people like we're just going over have ever done this. What's your thoughts, man?
Bro, he's one of the greatest shooting threats in the NBA throughout history, really. Easy Money Sniper is his nickname, and you see it. He can score at will from the layup lines, from the midi, from the three-point, from the free throw. It doesn't matter. This guy's getting a bucket. He's a walking bucket for sure. And if it wasn't for those 2 years that he didn't play in the NBA, I think he would have been at 35,000 points, if not to be frank. But, dude, man, KD is a pure scorer, man. Great offensive arsenal. And you know, like, he's gonna climb up there in the ladders, and he'll probably – not reach LeBron James type, but he'll probably get close. He'll get maybe to what, 3rd, 4th, up there on the list. So
I can see him there, at least top 5.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's always like I always feel like one of those like fun-filled NBA questions if you're ever out and about and at like a bar or something like that is how many times how high of a level of Karl Malone is. Did you ever honestly, if all those players, and I threw Karl Malone in there, did you anybody actually expect that one? I feel like he's always the answer if you're ever trying to trick somebody into name the 8 players that have 30,000 points, you know? Durant, Kareem, Jordan, Dirk. Dirk was surprising too because I knew that's my Mavs guy, obviously, but I was kind of surprised that he was actually in that list as well. But yeah, I would just find Karl Malone interesting because he's in like the top 10 for almost every friggin' statistical thing there is in the NBA. All right. Yes. And what's your thoughts on the 30,000 club, man?
I mean, it's impressive from a lot of ways, like G-Mike described, but I think what's also amazing for Kevin Durant as well is that not only is he, you know, like we talked about earlier with Karl Malone, he kind of got into that 30,000 point club because of the amount of seasons he's played. He's still consistently a great scorer, don't get me wrong. He averaged 23, 24 points a game. It's impressive, but over 19, 20 seasons, it's kind of a little easy to creep up into that all-time ranking. Whereas Kevin Durant, not only has he been able to get 30,000 points, but he's also led the league in scoring 4 times. And of the people on that list, only 2 others have had more scoring titles in their careers than him. That's Wilt Chamberlain and that's Michael Jordan. That just goes to show the dominance that he's really brought to the table. And like we've said, he's a Swiss Army knife on the offensive end. Like G-Mike said, inside, outside, at the line. He's just an amazing scorer, probably the greatest scorer of this generation by far. I know, obviously, we got LeBron James to keep in touch with as well, but if we're purely talking about getting the bucket in your bag, there's few that can top Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I remember watching him whenever he's coming out of University of Texas, whenever he got drafted originally, and I remember just watching him in college and just thinking, man, this guy's on such another level than everybody else. You could see it back then that this guy was going to be the real deal. Durant's such an interesting person as well as an NBA player as well. I mean, we had that amazing speech where he's up there crying with like my mom's the real MVP, and you know that was really heartwarming, and everything he's gone through with that. Durant has also been criticized a lot in the NBA because he comes off as a little bit weak sometimes. He always has that secret burner account. Yeah. What do you guys think as far as legacy goes? Does he come off as more of a ring chaser, or is he going to be you know what I'm saying? Like, he's jumped around how many teams here? Actually, we have the graphic here. He's been on the Sonics, the Thunder, the Warriors, the Brooklyn Nets, and the Phoenix Suns. And there's a possibility that he was going to get traded again. So do you think that plays into any kind of legacy when it comes to Kevin Durant? Or what would you also, and T-Mike, we'll go with you on this one first real quick. Does it play into and is his legacy that he's been on so many teams? And if he's going to retire, you know how NFL does, you're going as a certain player. I don't think NBA does it that way. What team is he going to go in? So a two-parter. What you got, man?
I don't think it messes with his legacy, honestly. I think it just he did it his own way, just like LeBron did it his own way. MJ did it his own way. Kobe did it his own way. I don't think it's going to really mess with his legacy like that. I wouldn't have done what he did. Obviously, you're up 3-1 on the Warriors while playing with the Thunder, and then you end up losing 4-3. You end up jumping to the team that took you out of the playoffs, trying to get into the NBA Finals. I wouldn't have done what he did, but he did what he did. And then when you see the finals that he's played for the Golden State Warriors, it's not like he was being carried. He was actually doing the carry. When it came to Draymond and the rest, obviously Clay and Steph, they did what they do, but he was still averaging like 28 points per game or even higher in the NBA.
That second one was like 30, 35.
So it's like, I wouldn't say that it messes up his legacy. Yeah, again, people don't disagree with what he did, but he did it the way he did. And then he tried to go to the Nets and try to do something there. He didn't play for 2 years. And then when he was playing, he didn't have his around him as well. And then now with the Phoenix Suns, he has no depth, no bench to help him out. There's no defense being played by the Phoenix Suns altogether. So it's tarnishing his career at the moment. But just for his whole legacy, no, I don't really think it tarnishes it.
So what team, the second part would be what team, like I was saying, like I don't think NBA does it where you go in like you're representing a certain team. But what do you think is the most Kevin Durant team out of all the teams he's played for?
That's a tough
one. Like, because it's kind of tough to say. Obviously, the Phoenix years are arguably not even going to be remembered at all. No. The Golden State years, he was shining. He looked great. He won the championships there. Do you go with like Seattle because they were trying to, and the franchise shut down? That's where he got drafted. Brooklyn, that was just a disaster.
I would say the two teams, it's got to boil down to OKC and Golden State.
Well, it's got to be OKC. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, See, for me, MVP, KD, a lot of people would point to that. Oh, that's his greatest individual season. And sure, you could argue that, but you could also say that he was at his peak of powers in terms of not just scoring, but also, too, on the defensive end, what he was doing in Golden State. He was averaging like almost 2 blocks a game, moving over to that power forward spot in the death lineup. I think that, for me, if I'm making that Hall of Fame case, it's got to be Golden State. That's his representation.
Golden State.
Yeah. I'll say OKC. I think anytime that I think about Kevin Durant, I just think about the OKC years and how great they were. You know, when he was playing with Russell Westbrook, James Harden. It sucks that James Harden left. I think if he stayed and Russ would have stayed too, I think they would have gotten a chip, really. But
I say this every single time anybody brings up OKC is I can't believe they didn't win one out of that with that dynamic of players they had. They did not win one. It's just a shame. It's crazy that they didn't. They were so talented and good, and they just somehow, some way could not pull it together to be able to make it out to win one. Man, that's crazy. Yeah. I kind of tend to agree. I would go if I had to go. I'd go OKC as well. I think if he would be retired in as his Hall of Fame, he's making a Hall of Fame without a doubt. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, I would have to go. I think OKC as well.
I will say there's no other player. I will say when LeBron made the move from Cleveland to Miami, he became the biggest villain in NBA history. And then Kevin Durant, 2016, said, "Hold my beer." So I think that's, for me, a guy that's one of the biggest heroes to have one of the biggest falls from grace. I think that's going to be. I don't think that's something that's going to tarnish his legacy, but I just think it adds another interesting wrinkle where it's like now he's probably one of the biggest villains. I mean, literally, he was called the Snake for how many years? So
I love the Tarantula. That's a great name too.
Yeah, Slim Reaper.
Awesome name. Slim Reaper. That's. I'm going Devontae Smith every time I hear that one though. But Durant is just such an interesting player. There hasn't really been too many players in the NBA like Durant. You can say a lot of different things about him. Like he was kind of soft at some point. and then all of a sudden that he's a great player. But I don't know. He has had such an interesting career, but arguably one of the greatest scorers of all time. I would put him easily in the top 75, like they've been doing. He deserves all the kudos. He also deserves a little bit of the backlash that he gets sometimes because he jumped around a lot. He almost seemed like a reputation a little bit. But having said that, man, that was what a hell career though. Shout out to Durant, man. That'd be amazing to have his career. Yeah, moving on, man. We're going to move over to the NFL, and some big news just came out as it's made it official. Kellen Moore and the New Orleans Saints have agreed, and now Kellen Moore will now become the new head coach of the New Orleans Saints. BC, you're a Bucs fan. You're a Bucs guy through and through. This is your division, man. Why don't you go ahead and lead us on the charge of this one, man?
I mean, I don't see this moving the needle quite as much for New Orleans. I mean, they're trying to get a new system going after basically wiping the floor the last few seasons with a lot of the old roster, obviously like Drew Brees back in 2021, like losing so many of their guys. They're just kind of grasping at straws. I like Kellen Moore as an offensive mind. I think he's good. I think he's solid, but I don't see this as something where, oh my gosh, this is going to take New Orleans over the top. This is going to be the thing that gets them to the Super Bowl. It's not a culture change to me. I see, just to kind of go back to basketball real quick, I kind of see like Kellen Moore as maybe like a Mark Jackson, as a guy that can maybe help reorganize some things, reshuffle the deck a little bit, but he's not going to be that guy that puts you over the top, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Kellen Moore's had an interesting rise. He was with the Cowboys for 4 years. He had a 64% winning percentage with the Cowboys. Then he ended up he's been an offensive coordinator for 6 years, ended up going over to the Chargers. That one really didn't work out. He only had like a 16% winning percentage there, but the Chargers weren't a good team at that point either. And then he comes to Philadelphia, had a 94% winning percentage, and obviously comes away with the Super Bowl. I think Kellen Moore's I think he'll be a good OC, and I think he's going to be able to relate with Derek Carr. Derek Carr kind of needs a resurgence. They signed Derek Carr for a while, and Derek Carr just hasn't really been able to live up to it. A little bit of injury plague in there as well, but I kind of like what Kellen Moore is going to do. I think he's going to be able to run the ball with Kamara, and I think he's going to make Derek Carr a better quarterback in the long run. G-Mike, man, he was a Cowboys offensive coordinator for a little bit. What's your thoughts on this one?
I think he's a good coach for the Saints, honestly. I think the Saints' only problem was offense. Their defense was pretty good. It was decent. It wasn't amazing. But obviously, when you have an offense that can't even score, like, it's going to be hard for the defense to actually play good if they're going to be out there on the field so much. They get tired. They lose energy. They lose desire to try to win a game. So when you have a coach like this that can come in and change the whole dynamic of the offense when it comes to passing and rushing the ball, I think it's going to be good for them. Maybe they won't become championship contenders for sure. I agree with BC there, but it's it's a step in the right direction in my opinion.
Yeah, you want to know something pretty wild about this move as well is that the New Orleans Saints also announced that they're hiring Brandon Staley as their defensive coordinator. That's who Kellen Moore picked. Ironically, Brandon Staley was the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers when Kellen Moore was the OC. So they basically switched roles. So now he's in charge. We're telling him, which I think Staley was a good defensive coordinator, but he just wasn't a good head coach. I don't think he can figure that part out. Some people just aren't meant to do it. Steve Spagnuolo, one of the greatest defensive coordinators of all time. Vic Fangio. These guys, that happens with these guys. Some of these guys are just not meant to be the X's and O's all the time kind of guy that can run the offense. Cliff Kingsbury was rumored to go get offered the job for the Saints, but I guess he turned it down because he obviously sees the writing on the wall. I got a great quarterback, and I got a great team that's on the rise here. So I don't blame him one bit at all for not taking that job. But yeah, man, I think it's going to be very interesting. So you're not really worried, huh, PC?
No, not for the immediate future. No, like I said, it's something where it's an improvement over what they had last year. But as far as where it's going to be this year and next couple of years, not as much.
Yeah, no, it's going to be definitely TBD. And I think he's going to be able to, like I was saying, I think he's going to be able to help Derek Carr out and kind of give him a boost that he kind of needs. But all right, well, that's not the only news that happened in the NFL as of late. Besides the Super Bowl, we had another major news over here as the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers have decided to part ways. And man, if this doesn't go down as I don't know, I'm going to go disaster for both guys in this one right here. BC, what do you think? What's your thoughts on this one? And the writing was kind of on the wall. Most of the players were vibing with Rodgers. He didn't look happy there. BC, man, what's your thoughts on this one?
No, this is step 2 for Aaron Rodgers in order to complete his Brett Favre arc. All he needs to do now, sign with Minnesota. The journey's complete. Get to a conference championship game and come close, but no cigar, and then it's all set. But no, I agree 100%. Like, you're losing the locker room, you're losing the players. They're not with you. It was just a disaster from the moment he stepped on the field, literally within like the first 3 plays. So that whole tenure, or this season, I don't think will summarize Rodgers' tenure with the Jets as well as last season, for better or for worse.
Yeah, we want to give a quick shout out to Crypto Wolf, of course, one of our favorite guys on here. Is always checking in with us. Is Rodgers done, or what is he's checking in with us? Man, that's a great question, and I'm kind of leaning towards I think he is done. I think this is it for Rodgers. I think just him personally, he's the type of guy that I think that's going to write off. Now, I know he wants to go out on better terms. I just think the market as well. Who's going to go after him at this point? If you look at the teams that need quarterbacks, are you going to go after Aaron Rodgers? Now, I think, having said that, I think that Rodgers will be one of those guys that if somebody gets hurt in training camp, they're going to give him some play maybe. But really, you have to only look at a few teams, I think, that are actually going to work out. Maybe the Steelers, maybe the Browns, and maybe the Raiders. But again,
of all those teams, Pittsburgh's the only viable option there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, G Mike, man. Rodgers, Jets. What's your thoughts on this one, man? This was such a wild ride.
Nah, he's not retiring. The Vikings are going to pick him up. They like J.J. McCartney to learn right behind him. J.J. McCartney's going to have he's still going to be a rookie because he didn't even play this season. So it's going to be a redshirt rookie type situation, freshman type situation. So they're going to bring in Rodgers. They're going to have J.J. McCartney learn under him. He's going to go the Brett Favre route. They're going to do good with the Minnesota Vikings. They probably won't have the same season as they did last year because I think it was kind of a fluke, in my opinion. But, I don't think Rodgers is going to retire. I think he's going to play 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, my boy G Mike getting a copy of the NFL script. Let's go.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. It might be one of those things, the fact of Aaron Rodgers may not want to be retired, but the NFL might retire Aaron Rodgers. I just don't know the market's going to be out there for him very much. But check this out. This is something I just found really interesting as well, is how inept the New York Jets have been at quarterback. Everybody wants to pick on the Chicago Bears for how bad they've been. So would you guys consider Aaron Rodgers this season in New York a good season? Would you guys consider it a good season for, QB standards?
No.
There's a lot of variables to that, and the biggest variable to me is that it's still the offensive line is what really needs work there. Like, no matter what quarterback you put in that situation, you put Patrick Mahomes back there, you put Tom Brady back there, they're gonna have a bad season too. Maybe not as bad as Aaron Rodgers, but when you don't have an offensive line that can pass protect for you, or even block for the run, like, you're not going to be able to do anything. You're not going to be able to complete any plays, get any yards, get any points. It's going to be a clusterfuck. So
this is literally the same.
Variable is the offensive line. We can't put the blame on Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is literally the same organization that let go of Mekhi Becton, and now he's a Super Bowl champ. So there's that.
Well, having said that about Aaron Rodgers' tenure with the Jets, do you realize this is the 3rd best quarterback performance in Jets history by a quarterback? Number 1 is still Joe Namath from 1967, where he actually passed for 4,007 yards. Rodgers this year passed for 4,897 yards. And that's amazing to me that this is the 3rd best statistical quarterback season that the New York Jets have ever had. And I can't name any Jets fan nor any actual football person that would say, oh, man, this was a striking success. So it's kind of wild when you put it that way. Rodgers did come on in the end and did look a lot better than he did in the beginning. But that's also slightly on Rodgers because he also missed training camp and would refuse to work out with the guys like all these other, Garrett Wilson was publicly saying, if Aaron Rodgers stays, I'm asking for a trade. So I just don't think it was worked out good for anybody with Rodgers and the Jets. It's kind of crazy to see it come to an end, and he only missed the first season. If he missed that, if he played that first season, I wonder if things would have been a little bit different. But the fact that he didn't, I think this just goes down to nothing short than a disaster.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know, but you see it with Saquon, right? He was in the Giants, 5-6 years? Didn't have an offensive line any single year there. With damn trash. Goes to the Philadelphia Eagles team where they have a great offensive line, and he wins the Super Bowl the first year. Like, the bread is in the pudding, bro. It's there. It's there. It's the offensive line. If you do not have offensive line, you're not going to win any football games.
Yep. All right, so you're going offensive line, and that Rodgers wasn't. It wasn't Rodgers. It was offensive line. That's what you think was.
No, I don't think it's just primarily. Again, there's different variables. I'm just saying that the biggest variable is that the offensive line needs more work, and we can't just be blaming it on Rodgers. Not saying that Rodgers didn't have a bad year, because I think he did compared to the other years. But when you don't have an offensive line that can block for you, how are you able to have a good season?
Well, honestly, I kind of put a little bit more blame on Rodgers on this one as well. Rodgers brought in his entire staff that he handpicked, that he wanted. He brought in Hackett. Hackett sucks. He's a hack. You finally was able to get Devontae Adams, brought your boy in. Devontae Adams did nothing there. You had a star wide receiver in Garrett Wilson, and was still couldn't get it to him, and was blaming people for him missing passes. I mean,
you're still not addressing the offensive line. I haven't heard you say one thing about the offensive line that they fixed.
Sure. So I mean, if he had an offensive line, you think this would have worked out great?
I don't think it would have worked out great, but I think they would have been closer to try to get into the playoffs than they were of just tanking every single game.
I mean, so whenever they got Aaron Rodgers, though, their Super Bowl prediction, they were like Super Bowl bound. The Jets, So I mean, I think he just was a bust there. I don't think the offensive line is one thing for sure, but I mean,
I think it's just both their fault. I think GM not putting the O-line in front of him, and I think it's Aaron Rodgers. Instead of prioritizing the offensive line like he should have, he wanted to bring his buddies in, and that's what messed you up. Like, as a you're a quarterback. You should understand this. You cannot get the job done without the boys up front. Again, I'm just bringing back the Bucks because I love this story. Baker Mayfield, offseason, taking his offensive line on vacation. Like, come on. How are you so tone deaf that you don't think, in a new organization, maybe I should make sure that the offensive line is on the up and up instead. No, I'm just going to bring Devontae. I'm just going to bring Hackett. Like,
oh, let's not forget the Alan Lazard, and it's I don't know. Randall Cobb was there, I think, for like a few hours or something, wasn't he as well? Like,
yeah, I mean, if he could have gotten Devontae Adams to New York, I'm pretty sure he could have gotten some offensive line help to New York somehow. He could have lobbied for somebody.
But you guys are talking about something that he cannot control. That's the front office stuff. That has not. That's like saying literally LeBron is the GM of the Lakers. No, man, that's ridiculous.
He's not.
We all know we wanted Luka.
He cannot make those trades. He has influence for sure.
Yeah.
Rodgers has influence, but he can't make those trades.
Yeah, it does. Beg to wonder, like, how much pull do certain athletes have in certain areas? Is it, Aaron Rodgers doesn't make the decision, but he pretty much does. Like, he just tells him, I'm doing, like, it's an interesting, the dynamic sometimes between star athletes and the front office.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild. It's interesting to see how this whole thing went out now that it's over with.
You think about teams that have won the Super Bowl. They have great offensive line and they have amazing defenses. It has to be one of the two.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Or if you're the Eagles, you got both.
Oh, you got both, and that's why you stump on a Hall of Fame quarterback and a Hall of Fame coach, because you got both.
Yep.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into it. If you guys have been living under a rock, you haven't heard, the Eagles absolutely destroyed the Kansas City Chiefs at a score of 40-22. Patrick Mahomes had his worst game pretty much as a professional, going 21 of 32, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Jalen Hurts, on the other hand, looked absolutely magical. He went 17 of 22, 221, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Jalen Hurts, say what you want about Jalen Hurts, but statistically, he has played his best games as a pro in both his Super Bowls, man. So Jalen Hurts, it's interesting. You can say what you want about him as his regular season, but when the lights are on, man, that guy shines out, man. I don't even know where to go with this one. This was such a blowout. BC, why don't you take me through this? What were your thoughts on this?
Defense wins championships, man. I mean, shoot, Cooper DeJean, interception return for a touchdown. Just Philly dominated in every single aspect of the game, and that score is very misleading. Most of those 22 points were in garbage time. Let's be honest. Like,
they're at halftime, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the game time of death was second quarter. Like, come on, like that game was done. So it was a great call, and we've been giving Jalen Hurts crap all season. We've been giving, well, at least for me, I've been giving Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name right now. The head coach.
Sirianni?
Yeah, I've been giving Nick Sirianni crap all season. So, but they took all the haters and they flipped it around and they just shot him a big bird. And it's like, all right, now they're Super Bowl champs.
Yep. Yep. And the fucking Chiefs play fucking horrendous, bro.
Yeah, they did.
The offensive line couldn't stop the defensive line pass rushing or even tackling the running backs because I think they only ran the ball like 9 to 10 times in the game. Patrick Mahomes didn't do anything. Obviously, when you don't have your offensive line blocking for you is tough, but even then, he made some questionable throws that it was just like, dude,
what are you doing?
Like shit. And then the defense for the Chiefs, bro, they were nowhere to be found. That secondary was not playing up. They were playing deep the whole time. And then the times that they would play up, they get bombed on.
Yep.
Like the whole time, it was just the Chiefs getting stumped on, bro. Stumped on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to sound cliche in it here, but it is. I think we can finally maybe pump the brakes on this. The Patrick Mahomes, the greatest, all that good stuff. Like it's the same thing. I've been saying it for a little while as well. Is that like he is an absolutely great talent. He is amazing and stuff, but he's still as human, and he came back to earth a little bit on this one. What's that?
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
I don't know, man.
Bad game. He had a bad game.
I don't know. I mean, you could say the same thing. We were just giving Jalen Hurts his praise. Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl has played some of his worst games. Almost every Super Bowl he's been almost having his worst games of his entire career of the season. So, I mean, I don't know if it's maybe the pressure or what's getting to him. Tampa Bay did pressure him. Eagles pressured him.
That pass rush, bro.
I don't know if we all know it's a copycat league, so I don't know if that's – what was it 2 years ago? It was put him in a cover 2 safety or something along those lines, and then that's going to stop him. He figured that one out. The pressure, that one's real. That one's real.
That one's real for any great quarterback. If you 100%. Don't give them time to throw, you rush them, they will get out of rhythm, out of sync. And for the Bucs, they were running a 3-4. They had 5. They did literally one-on-one for each lineman. With Philly, even more impressive, they only rushed 4. So it's like if you
whole time they didn't even rush 5 once.
Yeah. So it's like if you can make sure your pass rush gets home and your secondary is able to hold tight for 2 or 3 seconds, you can get him. You can get, like, he is not invulnerable. Just, again, like, it's who'd have thought? Have a great pass rush. Don't have your secondary have to cover for 5-6 seconds, and you can win.
Yeah. Dude, that was such a damn domination, man. It was done before it even started.
Belt to rear, man. That's what it was, bro.
All right, so we can that was just domination out there, absolutely, man. And I think the Eagles are for real, and I don't think they're going anywhere either. I think that they are in a fantastic position right now to almost be the new Chiefs. All their stars are pretty much under contract and young. They're paying them as rookies. There's only 1 or 2 guys that they have to consider to even pay. Jalen Hurts is paid. Barkley's paid. They got A.J. Brown, who's paid. They have all the people that Jalen Carter's a rookie. Cooper DeJean is in his second year. He's a rookie as well. Quinion Mitchell, a rookie as well. They're so set up right now that I think it's only 1 to 2 maybe guys that they have to even consider to be able to fix this thing for them, whatever. So they could be around for a long time to come.
And Zach Bond too, like defensive player of the year candidate. That dude's set for a big paycheck if he hasn't already gotten it. So
no, he's a free agent.
All right, so that's your one guy. That's your one guy you got to bring back.
Oh, they lost.
I think he's going to stick around. To be honest with you, I think he appreciates what Philly had and what Philly's doing. To be honest with you, the guy was like a special teamer pretty much the entire time prior to this point. Now he's balled out, and they allowed him to get to that point. So I think he's going to stick around. To be honest, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
The other thing is that they lost their offensive coordinator, so now you got to find going to run
Kellen Moore, right?
I think the smart move would be to promote internally at that point, just because you have somebody that is familiar with the concepts and the schemes and can kind of add their own wrinkle to it. I feel like that's a lot better than bringing somebody in from the outside that's just going to change up the offense. And instead of evolving it to that next level, they're just going to basically wipe the playbook out. And now you got to get your players in a whole new playbook.
Well, I had a buddy of mine who's an Eagles fan and that I work with, and he was suggesting, why not bring back Doug Peterson? He's available. Bring back Doug Peterson, has him as your OC, or even Frank Reich. Bring back the guys that got you there from the start, you know. And I think all Philly fans or the Eagles fans would be excited about that. I could get down with that. That'd be kind of cool.
You'll have the tush push and the Philly special at the same time. There you go.
Yeah, 100%. That'd be one hell of a Philly special, man. All right, so you have to, if you don't talk about the Super Bowl, you got to talk about the last thing on here, man. We'll keep it brief real quick. Did you like the halftime show or no?
That was all right. I wasn't blown away by it.
I liked it, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Me and G Mike were talking about it the show before. I didn't think it was gonna go very well. I was more impressed with how basic, simple it was. So they got the point across, got a message out there. I didn't think he sounded that great. You couldn't really understand him as much, but I liked some of the selections. I would have went back to some of like the beginning tracks that he came out with originally. But the point was out there. You want to get the bangers out there that he had, and of course, he had to. They Not Like Us had to come out that at some point in time, and that was so gutsy, ballsy, man. Drake is the biggest loser besides the Chiefs, man. He got nationally blasted on TV, and people that didn't know the beef they had, they know now.
Yeah, I just wasn't a fan of like some of the other elements to like the guest appearances and everything, like Sam Jackson as Uncle Sam. I thought it was a little too over the top there.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting, man. Samuel L. Jackson he's going to do Samuel L. Jackson, man.
Correct.
Yeah, well, I'm checking with Brandon BG for checking in with us as well, man. Appreciate all you guys checking in with us, man. You guys are always loyal to the show. Appreciate it.
The halftime show, bro. That shit was ass.
You didn't like it?
It was horrible, bro. Like, I like Kendrick Lamar, but how are you gonna come on a halftime show and you play around 5 to 6 songs that people don't really know? You're on one of the biggest stages in the world, and you're not playing the hits that are here on the radio. Like, that's just dumb, bro. You try to make it some political view or whatever the case is. Like we're here for entertainment, bro. Like, that shit was ass, bro. Like, that shit was fucking ass.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. That's the thing I alluded to with Sam Jackson. It's just like he's playing the caricature or whatever, and it's like, oh, you got to play the hits, blah blah blah, and it's like, oh, well, I'm not gonna play the hits. I'm saying, it's like, dude, come on, just
play the fucking hits. It's the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yes,
a lot of people are fucking watching this shit. Play the fucking hits. Ass, bro. That shit was ass.
Yeah, well, the other big thing is too is that maybe we just get rid of this halftime show. No one's ever happy. You know, like every year, no one's happy. Like, you can't name one artist right now. I guarantee you, no one can name one artist that everybody's like, oh yeah, I would love that. No, it's not going to work.
That's just with any topic in the world, really.
You know?
Yeah. Everybody's not going to agree on the same shit.
I mean,
everybody can universally agree they love views from the stands, right? And that's the only thing everybody just agrees on.
Hey, I will say, last year's I was a big fan of Usher, so like I that was like throwback for me, man.
And Rihanna killed that shit too.
That was a good one too. Yeah. It's like when you don't try to like make a quote unquote statement with your performance, it goes well.
Yeah. Just get some metal up there and I'll be happy. But otherwise, just keep it moving.
We're here to watch a football game, the shows and the halftime show, bro. Just keep it entertaining. Fuck all the other bullshit.
Yeah. 100%.
All right, well, we are going to move on from the NFL because the NBA has a lot of stuff going on as well, man. And we're going to go ahead and start the NBA Saturday after the Saturday slate. So we're going to go ahead and start it off with the almighty 3-point competition here. Man, if you guys can't see the graphic up here and don't know who's playing, I'll go ahead and break it down for you. You got Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, Cam Johnson, Damian Lillard, and Norman Powell. Mr. G, Mike, you're up top, man. Are you excited for this event? Are you excited for the All-Star Weekend? Who you like out of this group?
Me?
Yes, sir.
Me? You know, baby. Gotta go with the hometown, baby. You got Tyler Hero, baby. Damn. No, I'm not excited for All-Star Weekend. That's another thing that's ass. All-Star Weekend is ass to me, bro. Unless you're in person. I feel like in person it would be a lot of fun, for real. But it's like a normal fan just watching it on TV. It's ass, bro. Like it's not as entertaining. Like we want, specifically talking about the All-Star game, right? And then I'll touch a little bit on the dunk contest because I think the 3-point contest actually has been a lot more competitive, which they're putting in the All-Star, the guys that are the top of the league when it comes to 3-pointer, even though they left off Malik Beasley, which I don't know why the hell, because Malik Beasley been hitting with like 5 threes a game.
Yep.
He's number 1 right now.
Yep.
So that was kind of weird. But just sticking with the NBA All-Star game, man. It needs to be more competitive. Like, I get it, you guys don't want to get injured out there, bro. But dude, man, like, you guys are just walking around out there throwing up lobs, just shooting half-court shots, and it's just like it's like when you're watching a YouTube video and you're like doing dishes or doing laundry or like doing some other shit that you're not really paying attention, but kind of paying attention. That's how I feel with the NBA All-Star game, bro. And they really need to change that around. And when it comes to the dunk contest, man, like there needs to be some other stuff that be going on, because the dudes are just doing the same dunks over and over and over. Like if we want more entertaining dunks, let's go out to the streets and actually get some dudes that actually practice some crazy dunks that we can see on live TV. Like, don't put in the NBA players if they're gonna go out there and do the same shit over and over, and we're just there like, oh yeah, we already saw this 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Like let's get people that are actually doing some stylish dunks out there on the streets and bring them in. Give them a little reward. Yo, $100,000 to a random guy from the street that's doing dunks on YouTube, and try to help out his life with some money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that sounds like a Gladiator. Are you not entertained?
We ain't.
You bore me with your crazy stylish dunks.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, like G Mike said, a lot of these dunks we've already seen in past iterations of the dunk contest. Like, with a 3-point contest, you can kind of make the case it has a little bit more staying power because you get new people in each year. You get a potentially new winner. It's exciting. Yes, it's the exact same shot, but the thing is, it's different people. You're going to get different. Whereas with the dunk contest, it prides itself on style and flair and novelty. And you can only do a free throw line dunk so many times before we can say, okay, we've already seen it. What I would love to see, well, I want to see, we got a 7'4" giant who can basically touch the top of the backboard. Why don't we get him in it? Why don't we see maybe if he dunks from the 3-point line? I'm for that. That would be interesting. Why not? Let's see how far back he can push it. We need to get guys that can actually generate some star power and creativity in the dunk contest. Like G Mike said, get some guys. Why not get some 1 or 2 guys from the outside, bring them in and challenge the pros, and kind of maybe put some pressure on them and be like, hey, these young bucks, they've got creativity. What have you got? You're supposed to be a professional basketball player. You're telling me you're getting outperformed by some street baller? Like, come on, guys, step it up. Maybe that will be the thing that maybe helps revitalize them. But for the 3-point contest specifically, I do like it. Like G Mike said, they're bringing in actual stars, actual guys that have range. Again, minus Malik Beasley this year, minus Steph Curry. I don't understand why he is not in it. You have the greatest shooter of all time. Why absent from this contest? This is his event, basically. He should be almost a guarantee every single year. And it's not like the dunk contest where you have to worry about, oh, I might injure myself. You're shooting 3-pointers. Come on. What's the excuse? Yeah,
they also got rid of the challenge they had last year with Sabrina and Steph Curry. They're not going to do that again this year. That was actually one of the more exciting parts.
I would love to see Caitlin Clark versus
turned it down. She turned it down. They did offer it to her. She turned it down. She didn't want to do it. She had a couple of reasons, and she was saying she didn't want to take away, or I forgot what it was. She had the reasoning wasn't horrible, but it was also like, man, like that's kind of surprising. You're the face. You're the face of women's basketball and borderline basketball right now.
I feel like the WNBA I feel like she got pressured into saying no, which is like so stupid. Like, she is the most popular player in the WNBA by far. She should
be in the top like NBA as well, kind of thing. You know, as popularity right now as a household name.
The people I think want to see Steph Curry versus Caitlin Clark in a 3-point contest. Let's do it.
Real quick. Do you guys agree with the notion with the NBA All-Stars lollygagging out there and not being super competitive in the All-Star game?
That they do it? Yes. 100%.
No, I'm saying, do you agree with that notion? Do you think that they should just go out there and lollygag?
No, you should play for something, and you should be playing like again, people don't like bringing up the 90s that they actually played back then, though, because they were competitive. They wanted to be the best.
Yeah, I mean, that goes back to that whole, now the NBA's softer and everybody's friends. Jordan wanted to win that MVP. That meant something to Jordan. That meant something to Barkley to be able to go out there and dunk on Jordan, or, like now it's so much more, I hate to use the word fun, but it's just fun for these guys. Like, they're out there having fun. They're getting paid millions of dollars, and they're having fun. It's not the same as it used to be for sure. I really, honestly, I have an idea on how to fix it, but when we get to the All-Star game, because we got a couple of the prior twos, the skills and all that stuff like that, we'll get to the All-Star game in a minute. So we'll go ahead and put this 3-point contest up here real quick, and we'll go ahead and pick our winner on this one. G Mike, you're up top, my man. How about you go first? You're going to say you go in with Tyler Hero, or go ahead and explain your thoughts.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna get Tyler Hero right there. He's been very efficient this year. I think he's number 1 or 2 up to this point. So I think he'll go out there and he'll try to prove himself and try to win.
I'm sticking with Damian Lillard. He is the returning champ of this competition. I want to say he might have run it 2 years in a row. It's Dame time. This is what Dame Lillard lives for. No non-contested threes. Damian Lillard all day long. BC, what you got?
No, I'm going to agree. And plus, Milwaukee this year has had a knack for kind of winning in these small – any Milwaukee person has kind of had a knack for winning in these, you could say, gimmicky type of things. They won the Emirates Cup. I feel like Dame's going to do the same thing here in three-point contest. Like you said, he's unguarded, uncontested. He is the returning champ. It's his game to lose. He's basically the second-best three-point shooting point guard of all time.
Oh, great. I like it a lot, man. That's the 3-point competition for us here, man. All right, so we also have the next one coming up, and that one is going to be the excuse me, the skills competition. And this one is interesting as well. I'm kind of confused on the formatting here. I know it's supposed to be Golden State, so they're representing Golden State here, but it's Team Cavs versus Team Rooks versus Team Spurs and then Team Warriors. Why they chose those ones, I don't really know. I'm very confused on what the hell the NBA is doing and what they're going with this stuff. I love having some of the players in it, like Wembanyama. That's really cool. I think Wembanyama's. If I had to spoil alert, that's who I'm going to be picking in this one. But I just think it's kind of weird the format they're doing. I think they're overcomplicating things. Like they're just thinking too much into this stuff. And the skills competition was one of the newer events that they added, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago at most. That's a decent one. It's kind of cool. I like that one. That one shows some skill stuff. That shows what they can do, the dribbling, the passing. Otherwise, like this one's kind of just a wasted one too on me for this one. G-Mike, do you like this competition or?
Nah, I don't really care for it.
I like the old format.
I'm not a person that watches NBA All-Star Weekend no more. Like I watch the highlights when it comes on X or Twitter or YouTube. I watch the highlights, so I'm not one to really talk about this type of weekend. But I just don't like it. To me, it's not entertaining no more. Like it's very like walk around stuff. Like they're just going out there and just whatever. Let me pass the rock. Oh, let me shoot the three. Oh, let me throw a lob. And it's like, dude, I want to see competition, bro. Like, I don't want to see you lollygagging out there. Like, you're getting paid millions of dollars and you fucking complaining about this shit. I don't want to fucking hear that shit, man.
Yeah, and so I watched the National Hockey League, the NHL, their All-Star weekend not too long ago, about a year ago or something like that. They had their skills competition. And I'm not going to lie, that was way faster paced. That was way better than NBA's. Like, they were cutting in and out of cones. Like, they had some really cool ideas that I think the NBA should be looking at. Like, I don't pay attention to hockey very much. I'll be the first to admit it. I'll do what 75% of the country does. I'll check out the Stanley Cup, but that's about as far as I go with it, really. And every year I'm like, man, I should watch more hockey. This is actually really cool. Don't really know. Don't really watch too much of it. But having said that, though, their All-Star weekend, their challenge and all that was awesome, man. Those guys, that was hard. That looked difficult.
Yeah, and I will say this for the skills challenge, at least this event specifically. I think that they're, like you said, they're trying to complicate it too much by adding now a big and a guard kind of dynamic or a big and a wing dynamic to this thing. I loved it last year when you had guys, or maybe a few years ago, when you had Sabonis and Vucevic in the finals competing against each other. Two big guys that you don't really consider having a lot of skill showing up the guards. I always thought that was something interesting where these big men now, it's the evolution of the game. They're able to handle the rock like guards. As great as it would seem, and spoiler for my prediction, Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama teaming up, it's going to be great to see that. But I would have rather have seen Victor Wembanyama versus Chris Paul. Let's see who really has the best skills. Like the opposite ends of the spectrum right there. But yeah, they're trying too much with some of these events to shuffle them up and make them better. And it's like that energy should have been put towards making other contests in the All-Star game weekend or All-Star weekend better.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. So we'll go ahead and go what you got, Mike.
Real quick, have you guys ever played? Now the name just went away from me. I had it. I think it's called Knockout.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I think that would be sick to watch.
It's so funny that you said that too. I was thinking that a day ago. Like, what would I do to change things? I think knockout would be a blast.
Be sick. It's very fast
Of course.
paced. You're gonna see players missing. You're gonna see players making some crazy shots right before a player's gonna make a dunk or a layup. Like, I think that will be very competitive, and there's not gonna be injuries. Like,
Yep.
I mean, they could be sprinting to the rim, but I know what you mean though. It's a lot less on the body for the rebound or something. But I know what you mean though. It'd be a lot less.
Yeah. Well,
they did try horse not too long ago, and it didn't land as well. They only tried it for 1 year. It didn't really land as well. And I feel like horse would be one of those competitions that might take way too long.
exactly.
Knockout's pretty fast paced. I could see that one being kind of cool.
True.
Having maybe 5 players, whatever team, or however you want to do it, 10 players, whatever you want to do. I think knockout would be a fun one. I'd be interested in that one as well. That's funny that you said, because I was thinking that one as well. So for the skills competition, let's go ahead and make our picks on this one. G Mike, you're up top, my man. What do you got?
I'm gonna take the Spurs as well, man. I think CP3 is one of the greatest guards when it comes to skills, dribbling, and passing. And then Wembanyama, he's been showing us that he can do everything when it comes to playing basketball. So I got the Spurs.
Yeah, I'm taking the Spurs as well, man. Victor Wembanyama, he's kind of about to take over the league, man. So I'm going Team Spurs in this one as well.
Yep. You can literally argue that team has the 2 best ball handlers of everybody on that screen. So it's going to be an easy win for them.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's going to be an interesting good win for the Spurs in that one. I just that one I got to say before, put that one to rest as well. How did they get what is the reason? You got the Cavs, you got the Spurs, and you got rookies, and then you got the Warriors. Warriors again, it's their home court, cool or something like that. But
no idea.
Cavs have I don't know, it's just weird. I don't know.
I would have been interested in seeing Wemby and Fox be on the team, but yeah, we'll take Chris Paul.
It probably was too late.
Yeah, that's true.
It might have been too late maybe because that trade afterwards or something. But
yeah.
All right, and so of course you got the granddaddy of them all for the whole sports weekend of the All-Star competition, and that is the mighty slam dunk competition, man.
I recognize no one on this list aside from one.
Yeah, it's gotten pretty bad. I don't get when did this all change, and when did like the players stop caring about this stuff? Like it's gotten really bad. They're still doing cool dunks, and granted, it's been going on for quite a while. You can only do a 360 so many times to make it look nice. I get it, man, like that's cool and all. But just even like you go as far back to the Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, they were trying. That was great. That was probably the last great one they had. I think.
Yep, for sure.
They were actually both out there really trying. It meant something to them.
AJ got robbed.
I think it started going kind of south whenever they started trying to add props and they started trying to add all this extra flash to it. Just dunk, and then they missed the dunk half the time.
Yep. Oh, you guys remember 2009 Blake Griffin with the car?
Yeah.
Still talks about it, and he didn't even jump over the car. He jumped over the hood.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's still pretty tough, though.
It is, but it's like,
how about that car's driving towards him, then he jumps over. Now that's what I'm talking about. He has a chance to die here. Come on.
It's that, and then along with the Zach LaVine. What was it? The windmill? Or no, not the windmill. The between the legs from the line. It's like it's not from the line. It's about a foot or two in from it. Like you can't call it from the line. If you want to say, yeah, it was a tough shot, sure, but stop saying it was over a car. It was from the line. They weren't.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap the dunk contest up on this one real quick. I think I'm just going on a whim. We're all probably picking the same guy in here. Is it Mac going for 3?
Yep, 3-peat.
3-peat. G Mike, you a 3-peat as well?
I'm gonna go Castle, man. I like the way that Castle has been playing lately.
I like his game. I just don't know about dunking wise.
I will say for Mac, the pressure's on him though. He's been benched the last couple games because he was not really hustling too much on defense. A little G League insider for you guys there. So it's like if he's sacrificing time in game to make this, he better win it. If not, all 300 people that go to those Osceola games are going to be pissed.
299 if you're counting yourself.
That's true. So sometimes there's more employees and players than there are fans. Oh, dang. I can't let this air. I'm going to get fired.
All right. So now we have the game itself, and it is weird as hell what the hell they're doing. it just doesn't make any sense. So it's basically Team Shaq versus Team Kenny versus what is it? Team Young Stars, Team Shaq, Team Chuck. Why are they doing this? Like, I don't get it. I don't like it. It just seems too much. So the only thing I will give them credit in, which I think what they should possibly do to revamp this thing, is it's Team Chuck's Global Stars versus these other guys in here. I think that would be a way more. I think that'd be a better way to do this is take international stars versus the American stars, and just have them go at it, and then it'd be the best all-stars in the world, if you want to call it that. I think that would be a fun way to do it because the international players definitely want to represent their countries. America, of course, wants to represent, but those international guys take a lot of pride in that stuff. And I think that would also get the Americans back into it as well. I don't know what else to do to save the game. The game itself has gone ridiculous. It's become the Pro Bowl of the NFL. It's supposed to be fun, but can you at least act like you're trying?
Yeah.
The Pro Bowl got goofy as hell. They're catching with big gloves on. I mean, whatever. I don't know what the hell they're doing with that either. But the All-Star game, man, I used to be so excited for the NBA All-Star weekend. They used to be like the highlight. It always worked. It was usually around my birthday, so I was always like, "Oh, it's my birthday gift," It just gotten ridiculously bad now, man. Do you guys have any other thoughts on how to fix or change what the hell they're doing?
You gotta give them some kind of incentive aside from paychecks at this point, because they'll still take it serious. They still won't take it serious. Oh, you're gonna give me an extra $500,000 or an extra $1 million or whatever it is. Like if I win, like no, like give it some actual meaning. I don't know what that is right now, but you gotta find something.
Yeah, I mean with the East and West when they had it before, do what baseball used to do. They don't do it anymore. Winner of the All-Star game gets home court advantage. I don't know, something to give you something to play for, because these guys aren't doing shit, man. They don't care.
No.
They're not interested.
They don't give a damn, bro. And it's all about, all they got to do is just ramp up the competition. That's it, man. Go out there and prove to yourself, East versus West. East go out there and be like, yo, we're the best. West go out there, yo, we're the best. Go out there, compete against one another. Be like, yo, we're all stars right here this season. We're going to see who really is the best, and whoever becomes the All-Star MVP is the best out of all of us. That's it. Go out there and compete against each other. Stop being little bitches, bro. For real. Like, you guys are getting paid millions of dollars to play basketball. There's people out here that work 2-3 jobs and they can't even support their fucking families. And you guys are crying about getting injured in a fucking basketball game. Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely gotten to that point for sure that you have to do something, because it's just gotten ridiculous. Or just you're an all-star, that's it. Take the weekend off, because that's pretty much what they're doing anyways. Don't risk injury at all. Take it off. You're gonna make the all-star team. Here's a check. Take a week off. It's just polluting the airwaves.
Ridiculous. Like for the way the NBA is going, bro. Like that shit is making me not want to watch fucking basketball, dog.
It's been their issue this whole season.
It's been horrible, bro. It goes from the refs to the players acting like drama queens to the commissioner giving everything to the players and forgetting that the way you make money is through the damn fans.
Yep. Well, and that's the problem with, we talked about Kevin Durant earlier at the beginning of the segment, player empowerment. You give all these guys, so much we hear about, oh, the teams don't care about the players. It's all the teams and blah, 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 the ownership. You give the players the same power. This is the kind of crap you're going to get. It's not as entertaining. You're getting now, the players are all buddy-buddy with each other. They only care about the money. They don't want to get hurt. And it's ridiculous. You don't have an entertaining product anymore to watch to get people involved. And don't be surprised and don't be mad when your viewership tanks. Yeah,
it's universally, it's pretty much gotten really really bad, and the viewership has gone down. It's not bad. It's not good. It used to be one of the top rated All-Star games. Baseball does it right. I love baseball's All-Star game, because that's actually a game still. They play hard. I don't know how baseball is able to still get these guys to play hard and take pride in the game, but NBA needs to figure something out, because this game has just gotten ridiculous, man. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we all decided we're not a big fan of the All-Star game anymore. If I had to pick a team, it would be the international team, the Global Stars of Team Chuck. I I'm going with the international stars, man. The international players have just been dominating the NBA lately, and I love their game right now. So,
yep, I think Team USA stars are getting a little up there in age. The international stars are in their prime. And like we said, it's a lackadaisical environment. I just feel like the way the game is played overseas right now, there's a little bit more seriousness in it, and I feel like that, it's just going to be international. They're going to run it. Easy.
Yeah, I agree as well. All right, man. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up that segment of the All-Star game and everything, and we have one more for you, and I think this one's going to get a lot of crowd interaction, a lot of fun here, man. This one, it's going to be a lot of good stuff here. All right, so we're going to build a roster here with $15 here. If you're looking on the screen, it's probably a little bit easier. Each one of these players have a value of $5, $4, $3, $2, and $1. So we're going to build a starting lineup, but you cannot exceed $15. Any guys want to go out there first? Who wants to take a shot at this first? Anybody?
I'll go ahead and start us off. We're doing a draft, right? We're doing a draft style. Once you pick it, you can't pick that person anymore.
Need 5, right? 5 guys.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and start us off. Give me Jokic at my center for $5.
Okay.
All right. Do you
only have $bucks left. All right.
I got $10. I'm good.
All right.
G-Mike, you're up next, man.
He's weighing his decisions, man. Who's he want?
Let me get Al Horford at the 5. He's been giving a little hustle plays, getting some rebounds, and getting some 3-point shots up. I'll take Al Horford at the 5 for $1.
$1, not bad. All right. Well, I'm gonna go big because he left my team, and I can't say it anymore. So give me my Luka Doncic back because he should be back on my team where he should have never left. So give me Luka Doncic at my my guard position, my point guard for $5.
That's fair. All right, let's see. I'm gonna be up next. Go ahead and give me Jalen Suggs at my point guard for $2.
Okay. All right, you're at $7 now, Mr. G. Mike. You're only at $1.
I got $8 left. It's the math.
Yeah, that's why I talk sports.
The math ain't math.
I don't do math well.
Let me get Kyrie at the 1. I like Kyrie. His offensive arsenal is insane. Yeah, his defense is not up to par, but I'll take him for offense there. So $5.
All right. Well, go ahead and I'm gonna go with I'm going to go with Jamal Murray out there at $3. I love Jamal Murray's game. I think he'd be a great point guard, but take the ball out of Luka's hands a little bit. I like Jamal Murray on that.
All right, sounds good. Give me Alex Caruso at my 2 for $1. Get some good defense in the backcourt there, perimeter.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Benedict at the 2. At the 3. I'm sorry, with some good defense there, and he can shoot the 3 ball a little bit as well.
All right. Well, give me Derek Lively for $2, man. I think he's an emerging star. You'd already have what Luka and him started out with the lobs, and I love his energy.
All right, this is a tough one. What do I want to go with this? Give me. Oh man, I'm gonna regret a lot of these decisions either way. Go ahead and give me. I'm not liking my options at small forward and power forward, what I'm going to have to do. But you know what? Give me Zach LaVine at the 3 for $4.
Zach LaVine. All right. That's a good player. A little bit of size there. All right, G. Mike, where are you at? How much money you got left, man?
I got $7 left, and I'm going to take Jalen Brunson. So I'm going to have a backcourt of Kyrie and Jalen Brunson there.
That's a good one.
$3 left.
All right, I am up to, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm up to $10 right now, and I need 2 players, which works out pretty good in my favor. So for $4, I'm going to take Pascal Siakam. I think I like his offensive arsenal that he can bring with him. He has some good defense, and it gives me a decent amount of size for $4.
All right, and then for my final spot, I got Tobias Harris at the 4. So let's see, that gives me, that evens out my roster. I got Suggsy, Caruso, LaVine, Harris, and Jokic.
I'm not going to take a power forward. I'm going to go Nick Claxton. I have the Twin Towers with Al Horford and Claxton there.
Respect it.
Which works out perfect for me because that's what I wanted. Give me Kevin Love for $1 to complete my $15 transaction right there.
All right. So Wanna
All right,
run
so
this
let's
one more
recap,
time?
bro. We'll go ahead and recap our team here for $15. And if anybody's out there watching and you want to jump in on this one, because I know everybody's got some opinions on this, please jump in and let us know, man. Give us your who would you do on this one? All right, so we'll go ahead and give us our $15 payout here. G Mike, you're up top, man. You start us off. You tell us your entire team.
I got Jalen Brunson at the 1. I got Kyrie at the 2. I got Benedict at the 3. I got Al Horford at the 4 and Nick Claxton at the 5. I got 4 shooters. I got 3 defensive monsters, and I got 2 pure scorers as well as being shooters.
All right, so I'll go up next on here. I got my guy Luka Doncic, and I got Jamal Murray. I think the guard position is definitely taken care of in this one. I got Kevin Love and Derek Lively for my bigs out there, and for my small forward, I would probably put him out there would be Pascal Siakam for his offensive arsenal, plus his little bit of defense in there. So I got a lot of bigger guys on my team on this one for $15.
Yep. And then for mine, I've got Jalen Suggs, Ella Caruso in the backcourt, a couple of great 3-and-D options there at the 1 and 2 that can switch on to anybody. I got at my 3 and 4 Zach LaVine and Tobias Harris, a couple of floor spacers, and Zach LaVine's a great bucket getter. And then at my center, of course, the reigning MVP, best player in the league. I think he's going to win it this year, Nikola Jokic. And that's going to be the guy that's going to bring in the ball ups in the offense. I think I got a great chance to win it all, man.
All right, Phil, everybody out there, man, that was a lot of fun. Please, whenever if you're watching on the recorded, give us your comments, man. $15, it sounds easy, but whenever you're in the moment, you're trying to figure it out. It's a lot more different. So then we took Devin Booker. I was surprised on that one. I thought Devin Booker would be on somebody's team for he just seems like a little more expensive for $5.
Yep.
So yeah, I was surprised on that one. No one took Giannis either, right?
I was tempted to take Giannis, but then I was looking at my options at the 3. I think if I would have taken him, I would have been left with either Dylan Brooks or Isaac Okoro. Yeah, or Isaac Okoro. So I was like, yeah, I wasn't going there.
Yeah, no one wants to hang out with Dylan Brooks. All right, well, Phyllis, that is going to wrap it up for Views for the Stands on a Thursday night, and we absolutely appreciate everything you guys have watched and stuck around with us and checked in with us. And please give us a like and subscribe. I haven't been able to check it, but we are trying to get to 100 by the end of the episode if we can. If you guys can give us that extra 2, we really appreciate it. We appreciate everything you guys do out there, man. BC, you got anything for the people out there?
I'll just say this, folks. Like if you got somebody you love, you got a loved one, take the time, tell them call them after this show. After you're done watching, call them, tell them you love them, cherish every moment you got with them, man. You never know when the last time you're gonna say goodbye. So just always cherish time with family, cherish time with loved ones, with friends, and just enjoy this life while you got it, man. Value it tremendously.
Absolutely.
100%. Guys, thank you for all the love and support, man. Continue writing in the comments. Give us a like, subscribe. And if you want to come on the show and talk smack, either come up with me here, write in the chat. We'll put your comment up on the screen. Or if you want to join us for the conversation on the live webcam and mic, you can do that as well.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. We are going to be back probably next week. We got some stuff going on over the weekend, and we will be back and better than ever and ready to rock and roll for you people out there. We really appreciate everything you guys do for us. From Views from the Stands, I am Steve Brennan. BC, G Mike, we is out.